Hello everyone. Welcome to It's Your Life, Your Way. I'm Jeanette Larsen, your host with Growth Unlimited. And today we're going to be talking about worrying. This is a special presentation that was designed as the result of a conversation that I had with a friend of mine. Her name is Dawn Hunt, and you may know her as Money Mom from Sensible Living with Money Mom, another YouTube channel. We decided that we would both do videos on our own perspectives on what happens when people worry and how to resolve that problem, because it's such a big issue in today's world. And this is my video for that. I invite you, after you've seen this video, to click on the link that I'm including below it, so that you can also visit Dawn's YouTube station at Sensible Living with Money Mom and check out what she has to say. Because one of the things that's important as far as being able to take control of your life is being able to look at different perspectives and seeing different things. Just kind of as an aside, we have also formed the Growth University. It's an online community that offers the opportunity to meet with other people online who have the same kind of mindset you do about personal growth. And also it provides access to professionals, coaching services, and also online courses that will help you learn the skills that you need so that you can take control of your life. Anyway, let's talk a minute about worry. You know, worry is a really, really severe problem, and yet it's a very natural process for everybody to be involved in. Worry, though, if it's carried too far, if you spend too much time worrying, can lead to things like anxiety disorders and depression, and it can be a really severe mental health issue. Now, like I said, it's a very natural thing. It's something that we just kind of do automatically as part of being alive. But it is something that as you work towards achieving taking control of your life, you need to be aware of it and know what to do to make sure that it doesn't take control of you. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Like I said, it's a natural, normal part of life to worry. We have a tendency to do it without even realizing that it's happening until we're already in the middle of it. And if you find your life being in a position where you get yourself into a spot where you are worrying constantly, or you're worrying too much, or you're focusing on things that you have no control over, then you need to do something about that worrying. And we're going to talk, this program today is actually going to take about 3 little parts. The first one, we're going to talk a little bit about what worrying is and what is productive worry and what is not productive worry. Then we're going to talk about some of the science that's behind worrying. And then we're going to close with some ideas of what you can do if you find yourself worrying, so that you can make sure that you stay in the right kind of worrying. Or not worry at all, which is actually the most beneficial thing to do. So, first of all, the difference between good worrying and bad worrying. Worry provides a resource for you to be able to be aware that there are changes that need to be made in your life. However, many, many people have a tendency to worry over things they have no control over. And we've talked a little bit about this before. Control is something that we're going to be doing another whole episode on, because control is really an important concept in terms of taking control of your own life. But knowing what you have control of and what you don't have control of is key to being able to handle many things in your life as you're working towards taking that control. A lot of people, like I said, worry about things they don't have control over. They may worry about something that somebody they know is doing. They may worry about world affairs that they don't have any way of controlling them. And they spend lots of time focusing on the problem, but not on any solutions. And that becomes toxic worry. That becomes worry that is not productive, you can't do anything about. If you want to worry about things that are like that, you need to take a look at what you do have control of in the context of that worry, and then focus on what you can do to make changes. Rather than focusing only on worrying about it and wringing your hands and being upset because it's not something that's working, you need to focus on what can be done that you have the power to do to make changes, because that way you resolve the problem. You don't perpetuate it. And you take control of your life because you are making change happen so that your life becomes better. Plus, you are controlling your own behavior, choosing not to perseverate and keep worrying about things that are not productive, that you never make any changes in. And that's the true sense of being in control of your life and controlling the worry. So, worry is also something that occurs about things that you think are going to happen or that are going to happen in the future. And here again, when we're talking about control is a big issue in terms of how to handle worry, because you have to take control in order to stop the worrying from happening. Now, you don't have complete control over what's going to go on in the future. You don't have control over what's gone on in the past. All you have real control over is what you're doing right this very instant. And so if you are choosing to spend your time focusing and worrying about something that you are not able to control, well, that really doesn't seem like a very productive process to me. As I have worked on my own worrying and controlling my own worrying, I've learned to focus on the present, deal with what I can deal with immediately, and then I just take things as they come. I don't look forward and worry about things that may happen in the future or that are going to happen until I can reach a point where I have some control in how the outcome ends up happening. And I don't worry about things that happened in the past. That's over. There's nothing I can do to change it. If I have done something in the past that has caused harm to somebody else in some way, I do my best to resolve the situation so that person is less harmed, but I don't spend a lot of time beating myself up for the mistakes I made, because we all make mistakes. We all have problems that we deal with the best way we can in the given situation, but it may not be the most optimal way when we look back on it later. And beating ourselves up over what's happened in the past is not a productive thing. It's not a helpful thing. It can only cause more pain and more grief for you. So when you choose to worry, if you're going to worry about something you can do something about. Spend your effort on worrying about that and making decisions that will help you address the issue in the present, rather than focusing on and perseverating on what's going to happen in the future or the past. And then the next step is, of course, to take that action. Once you've decided what needs to be done, you need to do it. Many people that I work with have a tendency to just kind of sit back and wait to see what happens. And if that's a choice you want to make, that's a choice you want to make. But if that generates more worry and more concern, you may need to take a look at that and decide if that is the way you want to address it, or whether it's something you need to actively do something about so that you can resolve the situation so that you don't have to worry anymore. Okay, now, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the science behind worry. Because worry is a thought process, and our mind is constantly working all the time. Worry is something that can just kind of pop up and be there in place. And the problem is, unless you're able to actively recognize it and change and make the decision to change it, it can mushroom and cause issues for you that cause problems for you down the line. And so one of the secrets that you need to work with here is make sure that when you recognize yourself worrying, that you take steps to change that. And there are actually 5 steps that you can use to stop worry in its tracks. The first one is recognize your worrying. And that can be recognized by sometimes you'll be focusing on the same thought repeatedly. Sometimes you may notice some physiological responses. Maybe you'll begin to shake. You might have a temperature change. You might feel hot or cold. You might have a stomach ache or a headache. And ask yourself, what is it that's causing this? And if you're worrying, then you know you need to take action. The next step is to tell yourself to stop when you recognize yourself worrying. And one of the techniques that I use that I have used personally is a technique that I learned when I was learning dialectical behavioral therapy. It's called the stop process. And basically what happens is you say to yourself, especially at the first, you say to yourself out loud, stop. Because what that does is give your body a physiological key that kind of interrupts the process that you're engaging in. And you can, it will actually give you a second or an instant or so to kind of redirect your thoughts so that you can move away from the area that you're trying to get out of. As you get better at it, you're going to be able to tell yourself to stop without saying it out loud. But at first, it's a great idea to do it by saying it out loud. Okay, and then the next thing you need to do is get out of your head and into your body. Start recognizing the physical sensations that you're feeling. If you have a headache, do what you need to do to take care of that headache, and then pay attention to what's going on with that headache as it subsides. Stomach ache, the same thing. Be aware of what's going on within your body. And this is actually a kind of mindfulness, which is the ability to have awareness of what's going on within you and around you. Another thing you can do to help kind of distract this and get out of your head is get out into the fresh air. Change your location so you have something different to look at. And then finally, notice your breathing. And take a few deep breaths and focus on the experience of doing that. Here again, this will shift your mind away from the worry and help you get onto another track. Okay, these are just some ideas that you can use when you're dealing with worry. Check out the Growth University for more ideas, and check out our website at www.growthunlimited.org. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe so that you can receive the information on upcoming episodes. Also, share this with your friends. Invite them to check things out. As we work together, all of us will have better lives. And be sure to visit Don Hunt at I believe the YouTube channel is called Living Sensibly with Money Mom. I will put the link below this video to all of those locations. Just as an aside, at Growth University right now, you can actually sign up for a free 90-day membership, so you can take advantage of the benefits that are included in that program without having to pay a membership fee. And this is a limited time offer, so be sure to visit and sign up today. Thanks so much.